Okay, so I wanted, and thank you to everyone who was able to make it today. I wanted to have as many people as we can come together because I, right now we're supposed to be going back to school January 26th. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But as of right now, that's when we're going back to school. So we really have 1, 2, 3 full weeks at home. Um, and so I want to make sure, I feel like we were getting into some bad habits towards the end. And I know it always happens even when we're in school around Christmas because everyone gets really excited. You've been working really hard. You know, you have a break coming up, a long break, not just the weekend. So it's usually hard to keep kids focused anyways. It's hard for the adults to stay focused too. But Mrs. Thomas and I talked about some things that we were going to do to start fresh in the new year to make sure that you guys can be successful. Now, the first thing that I just want to tell you about math is I've been talking to you guys about getting stronger with your facts. We've been doing a lot of basic fact practice. Who remembers why I said it's going to be so important for you to know your multiplication facts very quickly and very automatically? Who remembers why that's important? Looking for a hand. Anyone remember? Peyton, remember.
Facts are going to be getting harder and harder.
Say that again. What's going to be getting harder and harder?
The facts that we're doing.
Well, the basic facts are always going to stay the same. But why is it going to be so important to know those basic facts? Miss Jameson, do you remember?
Is it because we'll be using them when we do like 2-digit and 3-digit multiplication?
Which is what we're starting now. So if you're not solid with your facts, from here on out, math is going to be hard because you're going to be learning higher level things, and the multiplication is going to get bigger with bigger numbers, and then that leads to division. So that's why we need to get solid with those facts. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and for those of you who did go to reading today, please make sure you mute yourself when you come in. I believe Mrs. Thomas probably shared some of this with you guys. So I think there are some people who are not really following through with all the things that you need to be doing each time, every day, really, when you have a class. So every day, what you need to start with is looking at your Schoology page. And obviously, here's math. You can click at either if you are a hybrid student or a fully remote student. And then you have all of your folders here. I added a new folder. Anyone know, other than this week, because that's the week we're in, can you see a folder that looks brand new to you? Reese, what do you see?
Math anchor charts.
Very good. Do you remember what is an anchor chart, Reese, or where would you see it if you were in school?
Like up on the chalkboard, like on the wall.
And what are those used for?
Like to organize the facts and stuff.
Okay, so I really put helpers. They're like little big helper posters for you. So I've made a folder that has anchor charts in here for you to see or review at any time if you're confused about something. So that's one new thing, one new folder that I wanted to show everyone. Okay, Riley Roach, you're usually pretty on the ball. So I want you to tell me if it's a fresh Monday or even Sunday evening, when you see there's a new folder, what was your process? What do you usually do when you know you have to start a new week of school?
I usually go on to Schoology and then look in whatever, I look in Mrs. Thomas's, on Mrs. Thomas's page and yours.
Okay,
and
so
when
in my page here, where should you click?
hybrid students,
Right, and once you get in here, where should you click?
the new folder.
Okay, so this is the week of January 4th. This has everything that you're going to need to do for the week. So one thing is, if you do not have something other than a doctor's appointment, or you really should try to make an effort to come to the Zoom classes, because this is the only interaction that you're getting with your classmates and a teacher in this setting. Now, I know sometimes there's situations where you can't be, if your child, if you go to the babysitter and you don't have access to the internet, we pretty much know who's unable to. But this is the only time where you can really talk back and forth with us now that we're in this situation at home. So today is Monday. So you would click on Monday. This I also have posted on the main page. Did Mrs. Thomas share this with you today? Give me a thumbs up if you've seen this before. Okay, Elijah, what is this?
It's things you should do during the Zoom call.
Okay, expectations. So let's go ahead and let's talk about these. Chase, read the first one and tell me what that means.
Be on time. And
Okay, so for math, what does it mean to be on time?
it means to come at the Zoom at the time you scheduled,
What time's math Zoom?
1 o'clock.
Very good. And if that ever changes, I post that. Chase, why do you think it's important to be on time?
So you don't miss anything.
Very good. Jack, what's this big X mean?
Keep yourself muted.
Why do you think that's important?
So you don't like accidentally like talk over people.
Very good. And you're all at your own homes. And I know, because luckily here I'm by myself today, but I know sometimes even if you are up in your bedroom, it's hard to get quiet at a house that might be filled with brothers and sisters, animals, parents working. So that background noise sometimes takes over what the teacher's trying to say, or you guys trying to talk. So that's why we try to keep muted. Zoe, what's this little girl saying down here?
Listen.
Why is that important in all classrooms, but also in an online class?
So you don't miss anything what the teacher's saying.
Very good. Just like in school, lots of important things. Isla, what's this desk represent?
Act like you're at school.
So Isla, what does that mean when you're at home? What should you try to do when you're in a Zoom class?
Pay attention, sit still.
Right. When you should have some type of table or a hard surface in front of you. You should not have any televisions on around you. You shouldn't have your phone next to you or any type of device, because you wouldn't have those things in school because it makes it hard to focus. Tessa, what does this blue camera mean?
Turn on your camera.
Okay, so why do you think it's important for us to see you?
So then we know like that they're there.
Right, so Ava, Carter, have some other people just turn theirs on. Noah, are you in your camera, honey? I want you to pull it down so I can see your face. All of these things that we're doing is not to be a nuisance. Zachary, you're not looking at the screen right now. So what are you looking at, buddy? What's straight ahead? Zach, what are you looking at straight ahead?
I was looking over at my cat.
Okay, well, you need to pretend like your cat's not there, because it's really hard to stay focused regardless, but it's even harder for me to know if I have your attention when your camera's off, or like Corday, Corday, are you listening at all to what I'm saying? Okay, if you were, then you wouldn't be standing up with your body turned talking to someone else right now. And like, I understand sometimes you might have to run to the restroom. I would like you to try to go before, but I understand emergencies happen. But like I've told you before, it's very hard to focus if you're not actually trying to act like you're in school. So that means drinking pop while you're sitting there, eating soup while you're having math. You don't have Zooms all day long. Mrs. Thomas's is at 9:15. You have probably at least 2 hours before math. So you need to have your snacks, have your lunch. Well, and that brings me to this next one right here. No eating during class. Unless if you're in school, we don't just let you hop up and get in your lunch box and pull out a hoagie and crack open a pop, because that means you're not focused. You're more focusing on your snack than the lesson. And I try to only keep you guys here for an hour at the most. And I'll say this, most of the time we would probably be finished earlier if I didn't have to constantly be looking for people. That would be like if I was walking to the bathroom all the time in school, looking for where you guys went. We would never get through anything. And like, I don't want to waste your time, just like I ask you guys, not to waste mine as well. Okay, this next one, Trace, what does this little chair up here represent?
One.
Sit in
One. That's a one. I know it looks like an I, a
Sit in.
one.
spot during class.
So Trace, why do you think it's important that once you get your focusing area, whether it's your living room, kitchen, or wherever, not to be picking up your computer and going outside during class, and then picking it up and taking it to the basement, and then maybe to the stairs? Why do you think it's important to pick one spot for the day and stay there?
Because you might not know what's happening.
Yeah, when you're moving around, you have a lot of math materials too. You're gonna be all confused. This next little girl saying to raise your hand to talk, and just like in school, Nathan, why is it important for one person to be talking at a time?
So you don't interrupt what the other person is saying.
Very good. And the last one, the most important one, Hunter, what's this little guy with the hat trying to tell you?
Have fun and do your best.
Good. And I know some of you and some of your parents don't like online school. I can't say that I love it. However, you guys, someday you're going to be in high school and college, and hopefully this will at least help you guys to transition to some maybe online classes when you're older. And we try to have fun. That's what we do the breakout sessions, but I know it really doesn't compare to if we could see each other face to face. But the most important part is really doing your best. If you're making mistakes, but you're doing the best that you can, I can deal with that. It's whenever I message your parents and I say, oh, excuse me, Susie Lou did not turn in their lesson 5 exit ticket. And then 6 seconds later, I have it and it's just random numbers. So I use the exit tickets to help me figure out who needs to meet with me in small groups to go over some things. So if you're not trying your best, I really don't know if you're understanding or not. Okay, do you guys have any questions about any of these rules or expectations before we move on? Julian Dixon, where are you? This is an example of what I mean about taking other people's time. Tanya, where are you? Please leave your cameras on. Tegan, you have a question? You're talking, but there's no volume coming out. Try again. Can anyone else hear her? Shake your head if you can. I'm hearing no sound. Tegan, why don't you go ahead and type it into the chat? Okay, any other questions? Yes, Colin.
I just wanted to add something onto the sit in one spot during class.
Sure.
If you're moving all around and other people have like your picture
on
in
this.
your little view in the share screen, it's distracting.
Oh, thank you. So like for you guys too, if you see all this stuff moving around, it's distracting for not only me, for you also. Thank you. Good addition. Ms. Jameson, was there anything you would like to add?
No. Sounds good. You did a good job covering everything.
All right. Okay, so Another reason why, Carter, please mute yourself. Another reason why I wanted everyone to come together today is because I found the biggest problem from November and December was you were skipping things in your Schoology folder. So now I'm going to go through today, Monday, what you need to be doing at home. So can you guys still see my screen? Shake your head if you can. Okay, so you should be seeing my Schoology page. Carson, go ahead and read where it says lesson 7 video.
Use this link to watch the lesson 7 video. Make sure you have all your math materials ready before you begin the video. It is important to watch the video so you are prepared for the Zoom.
Okay, so Carson, when should this video be watched?
Before the Zoom,
Why?
because
What happens in these videos?
the same thing as the Zoom, we go,
Well, it's not the same thing as the Zoom. That's why it's so important to watch them. Colin?
In the video, it teaches you the new strategy or the new thing that we're doing on the math Zoom.
Very good. So if we were in school, that's what I don't know if you remember, but the very beginning of the school year, I showed you guys one of these videos and I said, when you're at home someday, you're going to have to watch these. That was the very beginning of the year when we first started talking about all those discs and moving the different place values. The reason why I showed you that in school was because I knew eventually you would have to do this at home. So what we do in school is I do like all the teaching at the beginning, and then we do some practice problems together. I would have to keep you guys on the Zoom for 2 hours if we did the same thing now. And I know it's hard to keep focus for anyone that long. That's why I've split it up. And I figured it was more beneficial for you guys to practice the problems with me after you've watched the video. So something important is it says, make sure you have all of your math materials before you begin. Nolan, what would you need? What are your math materials?
Like your student workbook, your sprint packet, your exit ticket packet, a pencil, eraser, a pencil sharpener.
Good. I think that would be a little extra, but you pretty much covered everything. If you have like, and I just keep mine in a pile, my 3 books and my pencil. If you have those materials, then you'll be ready to go. So today we are going to watch this video together because I want to show you what you should be doing during the video. So I'm going to click on this. Want to make sure you guys can hear. Once the teacher starts talking, give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Here's the music right now.
Hi everyone, Miss Bertuman here to welcome you back. Today we will be multiplying 2 digits by 1 digit while using place value discs. Here's what you'll need for today's lesson. Let's get started.
Okay, so this tells you you need a place value chart. At school, that's what we keep in the plastic little folder. Where is this place value chart? Who knows where you can find this? Has anyone? Chase, where is this?
It's in your orange math folder.
Okay, but there's one though, and I know because you guys might not all have because they change, but turn to page 40 in your student workbook. You have one of these right now, a clean one in your student workbook. Now I know it's not reusable because it's on paper and you'll be writing on it, but you can kind of divide it up into sections and just use one, instead of putting it right in the middle, try to use the very top and then work your way down so that you can follow along with the teacher. So you see, she says you're going to represent the problem 2 times 23. So before we only did multiplication with multiples of 10. We are taking the zeros off and putting them back on. We're moving on to something more advanced now. I'm going to stop sharing with you for 1 second. You're going to notice the strategy that the teacher on the screen on the video teaches is a little bit different from the strategy that I like to use. One is not better than the other. I'm just showing you another way because I just like one way better than the other. Just like you guys know, a couple different ways to add, the traditional method, the partial sums method, and then you guys get to choose the one that works best for you. So you're going to see one method, and it's really just a matter of she uses some place value words, and I like to use numbers, but I'm going to show you both of those today. Bella, Carter, are you guys ready? Bella, are you ready to go? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, Carter, are you there? Carter, are you there? Okay, I think we lost Carter. Okay, here we go.
Use your place value chart and draw discs to represent the number 23.
So right now you should be picking up your pencil and creating the number 23 in your place value chart. Who can tell me what I should do to make the number 23? How do I make 23? Same hands as always. Colin, Reese. Go ahead, Reese.
Put 2 discs in the 10 and put 3 in the ones.
Very good. So that's how you interact with the video. When she tells you to do something, you see this pause button? When I do it before class, I pause it and I do mine. And then the way I check is to see what she does. Andrew, do you have your pencil? Okay.
Now, draw discs on your place value chart to show one more group of 23.
Why are we making another group of 23? Colin?
Because the problem is 23 times 2.
Very good. So that means we need 2 groups. So you draw another group of 23 also.
What is the total value of the ones?
That should be counting the
2
ones.
times 3 ones equals 6 ones. Let's write 2 times 3 ones under the ones column now.
Now you should have your pencil in your hand and you should be writing down the same thing that she's telling you.
Let's also record 23 times 2 vertically. We record the total number of ones below, just like in addition. This is called a partial product because we have found the ones part of the product. Now, let's do the tens. What is the total value of the tens?
So you should be looking in the tens column and counting those
2
dots.
times 2 tens equals 4 tens, which equals 40. Let's write 2 times 2 tens under the tens column now.
You should be doing this. And you should also notice when she pauses, that's your chance to either say the answer out loud at home or just say it to yourself and see if you're correct. Now you should be adding this to your partial product.
What is the total value represented by the discs? Let's add our partial products to find out. The total value is 46 because 4 tens plus 6 ones equals 46. Notice that when we add the values we wrote below the line, they add to 46, which is the product. Draw discs to represent 30.
Okay, so as you can see, she's going to go and continue and do quite a few examples, and they usually get harder and more difficult as she goes through. Now, I want you to raise your hand if you watched the video already today. Okay, so there's a very small amount of you. Oh, pretty good amount. But the last couple times that I've asked that question, I haven't had many hands. So that's what was telling me that when you are coming to class, we start and we practice the problems. There's sometimes when I ask you guys some very specific questions, and when you can't answer that, that's a red flag that you haven't watched the video. So it would be like if you didn't come into school until 11 o'clock, so you missed all of our discussion, and then all of a sudden I say, okay, take out your journal and let's practice some. It's confusing, and you're going to get big gaps in your math education, and you're going to become frustrated. So that's why it's so important to watch the videos. Now, before, I wasn't messaging people's parents to say, have Beth go back and watch the video, because, you know, on my YouTube account, I can see how many people have logged on and looked. So if you start to not watch the videos, I'm going to have to either, you know, call you guys in for a special Zoom or ask your parents to rewatch it with you, because that's a very, very, very important part of the lesson. Another important part of the videos is if you are going to do something independently and you're finding that it's a little hard for you, or maybe you forget something, you can always go back and click on the video. You don't have to watch the whole thing. They're at maximum 15 minutes long. They're not very long, but you could watch one of the teachers solve a problem and see if that jogs your memory, because usually it's just applying that to some new numbers. So those videos are there to help you. Hayden Garland, are you here today, or are we just, okay, I'm not sure if you missed reading today, but you came late to math. So we went over the rules. So at the end of class today, after I get the video posted, make sure you go back and rewatch what you missed, because you missed a couple rules. One was you need to be here on time, because you've missed a lot already. Two is when you're in class, you need to have your camera on, so I know that you are focusing and with me. Got it? All right, thank you. Okay, so if we look at the Schoology page, and that really tells you everything you need to do. So this is your first order of business today, to watch the video. And then Tyler, go ahead and read for me where it says Monday's assignment.
Today you will be responsible for completing the must-do problems from lesson 7. The must-do problems begin on page 36. If you would like to complete the problems with me, join my 1 o'clock Zoom.
Okay, so if you come to class, you see this is what we're going to be doing. And I told you before, if you go ahead and do this on your own, but then you want to come to check your work, that's great. Maybe you only have time to watch the video before class, but then when you come to the Zoom, you're going to be doing this. Jack, let's say for an example, you have a doctor's appointment today and you're not able to come to the Zoom. What does that mean you need to do on your own?
Complete the problems, then send you like maybe a screenshot of like the problem.
I usually tell you when I need you to send it to me, but this one I don't have you sending it because it's just some practice. But you're correct. All of these things need to be completed in order if you can't come to class. So right now you're going to open up and you should probably have your books open already, but you're going to turn to number 2 in your workbook, and that's on page 37. Page 37.
Might be page 36.
Number 2 is on page 37, I believe.
No, you're right. You're right.
Number
Sorry.
number one was a long one.
Okay.
A through D. So the must do problem for today is number 2. So that means we're going to practice with this problem. Let me see my pictures. Who haven't I heard from? Nina. If we're working on this together in the Zoom and you're confused about something, what should you do? Any ideas?
Sorry, it froze.
Okay.
Raise my hand. I'd raise my
Right,
hand.
yeah, raise your hand and ask. Because
Actually,
this is your...
you press-
What, honey?
if you put where you can see the participants, if you press if you press it, then you can like your hand. You can do that.
Oh,
also.
there's the little, she's explaining like the little hand raise at the
sharing
bottom.
your screen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you have your hand raised and I don't see you, you are allowed to unmute yourself and say, hey, Mrs. Shevchik, can you stop for a minute? I have a question. Izzy, why do you think it's so important that you ask questions when you're in the Zooms?
So you understand?
Right, and because this is the only time we get to see each other now. So if you're confused, that's what I'm here for, okay? And remember, like I told you before, if it's something is really, if you're having trouble with something and you want to talk to me by yourself, that's why I say just stay on at the end. You know, we can always, if it's not a good time, we can always arrange for a time to meet if you're really having trouble, okay? You know, before we had intervention and, you know, we really don't have a lot of those times now. Okay, so as of right now, remember, I can only see 6 faces at a time and my Zoom just kind of circles through you guys. So as we're going through this, if you have a question, please just unmute yourself. So we're going to do number 2. I'm going to show you how my way of solving partial products is a little bit different than what your teacher does. She's not wrong and I'm not wrong. I just like to do mine a little differently. Okay, Sarah, you're going to help me out first. We're going to represent the following expression with discs, regrouping as necessary, and then to the right, we're going to solve using partial products. So 2 times 36, what do I need to draw first?
6 in the ones place.
Nice and loud, honey. 6 in the ones. And what else?
3 in the tens place.
3 in the tens. So this represents 36. Corday, how do I show 2 times 36? What should I do to show 2 times 36? Oh, no sound. This always happens in math. Nathan, how can I show 2 times 36?
You can put down 36 again.
So you should be drawing the disc. So here's 136. Here's 2 groups of 36. Now I
No,
need
I don't know when I'm back. He told me to come back, so guess I'm back.
What was that? What, Zach? Zach, what did you say? Hello? Okay, Andrew. Unmute yourself.
Yeah,
How's that new computer working? Better?
yeah.
Okay, Andrew, I want you to count up how many ones you have.
12,
Do you remember how many you need to be able to bundle?
10.
Okay, so I'm going to bundle 10 of these. And I'm going to move 1 over to my tens place. So Andrew, how many ones do I have left?
2.
Okay, so I'm going to put my 2 here. How many tens do I have, Andrew?
7.
So I'm hoping 2 times 36 equals 72. Now we're going to rewrite this problem over here like that. Now this is where I like to solve a little bit different, in a little bit of a different way. I like to draw myself a work bar right here. So I do all of my work over here, and my answer stays separate than my work. There's my favorite, other than the game 24, my favorite math game is called Multiplication Wrestling. Here's a quick version of the rules. When you play multiplication wrestling, you have 2 teams. So in this problem, 36 is a team and 2 is a team. If you're a I don't even remember the WWF or WWE, if you're one of those wrestling fans, you should know that you'll never wrestle your tag team partner. So the 30 and the 6 and 36, that's a team. They're a duo. They'll never wrestle each other. And in multiplication wrestling, when I say wrestle, it means multiply against each other. The 2 is on a team all by itself because it doesn't have any tens. So when I start, I'm going to draw an arrow from my 2 to the 6. The 2 is now wrestling the 6, which means the 2 multiplies by the 6. So off to the side, you're going to write 2 times 6. Tessa, what is 2 times 6?
12.
So I'm going to write 2 times 6 equals 12. Then in my problem, I'm only writing my product, lining up my tens and my ones. Ilea, my 2 wrestled the 6. Now, since the 2 doesn't have a partner, who does the 2 have to wrestle next?
3.
Okay, now I'm going to draw an arrow from the 2 to the 3. But Ilea, I need to ask you this question. What's the value of this 3? Is it 3 ones?
No, it's 3 tens.
So what is that value? What is 3 tens?
30.
So my second multiplication problem is 2 times 30. Here is where those extended facts come in handy. Ilea, how many zeros do I take away here? You're muted.
You take out the 0 from and 30 and put in your answer.
And so you're left with what basic fact?
2 times 3
Equals?
6.
So 2 times 30 equals 60. So now I'm going to write 60 over here. I don't have anything left to wrestle or multiply by because the 2 has already wrestled both of those numbers. So I'm finished. So now I'm going to add these up. Soren, what's 2 plus 0?
2 plus
What-
0 is 2.
1 plus 6?
1 plus 6 is 7.
So Soren, when we use partial products, what did we get for our answer?
72.
Soren, in the chart, our place value chart, what did we get for our answer? Up here.
7 tens and 2 ones. 7 tens and 2 ones.
What number is that?
72.
All right, so we can say with certainty that 2 times 36 equals 72. And you just did your first partial product. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try the next one. Zach, did you ever come back? I still just see a black screen. Okay, Hunter, 3 times 61. What should I draw first?
You should put the 1 in the ones place and 6 dots in the tens place.
Okay, so I have represented the number 61. Hunter, how do I show 3 times 61?
You write it again or below it. I mean, you write it again 2 times because it's 3 times 61.
Very good. Here's my 1 times 61, 2 times 61. I'm going to do it one more time for 3 times 61. Okay, Orlando, unmute yourself. You're going to help me next. Now we need to see what number we have represented here. Orlando, count up my ones for me.
1, 2,
Make sure you're in the ones
3.
column.
3.
3. And we start in the ones because we might have to do some regrouping. Orlando, do we have to bundle anything in the ones place?
No.
Nope, because we only have 3. So I'm going to put my 3 right there. Now, Orlando, count how many 10s we have. How many, honey?
18.
Can I
18.
bundle anything there?
Yes.
How many?
10.
10. So I'm going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to circle those and remove them from the tens place. And where will they move to, Orlando?
The hundreds.
Good. So that's 100. Because remember, if I count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10 tens equals 100. So I'm taking those away from here and putting them in the ones place. Orlando, can I bundle any more tens? I need 10 more to make another bundle. Do I have 10 more?
No.
How many do I have?
1, 2, wait, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good.
8.
How many hundreds do I have?
1.
1. So, Orlando, in our place value chart, what's our answer?
100. 183.
Very good. So now we're going to solve using, Trace, do you remember what this method's called to the right? I'll give you, it starts with 2 P's. And the first word means you're taking pieces of something. And the second word is the answer in a multiplication problem. And it's also right here. Look up here. What's this method called? You're muted, honey. It's in the directions in number 2, the method. Unmute yourself. I can help you. Can you see my pencil? This means a part of something. Do you remember what that word is?
Partial
Partial what?
products.
And that means you're taking a piece of it in a multiplication problem.
Partial product.
Partial products. Very good. Okay, Trace, do you remember what the first thing I like to do is in a partial product to make sure I stay organized? I like to draw something. Do you remember what it's called? Anyone remember? Elijah, you remember? Look up at letter A. See if you can remember what I did first before I did any math. Draw my work bar.
The boxing match.
Draw your work bar. Draw your work bar. Can you guys hear me? At home, tell yourself, draw the work bar and do it. Okay, now we can get down to business. Noah, what should I do first?
you have to,
Look at your teams. Up here we have two numbers that will never wrestle each other, but down here we have only one. So this number is going to be doing all the work. So look at my arrow. What am I going to multiply first?
the one,
By what?
the one in the 2.
And there isn't a 2.
I mean, the one in the 6.
Now, do you have any lights on at your house? Why is it so dark? You have a light you can turn on? Maybe that's why you can't see the numbers.
I can.
All right, well, look at where I drew the arrow from. What did I draw from? What number to what number?
The 1 to the 3.
Actually, from the 3 to the 1. See where the arrow is pointing? So that means 3 times 1. So write that down. Everyone's pencil should be moving. Noah, what is 3 times 1?
3 times 1 is 3.
Okay, so that's one of my partial products. So I'm going to put that over here in my answer. Now, Noah, look at my arrow. Now, where is it going?
To the 6.
Okay, so now, Noah, this is going to be 3 times what? What's the value?
6.
What's the value of that 6? It's not 6 ones.
It's 6 thirds. It's
So what?
6 thirds.
No, not thirds. This is the ones place. What place value is this? What comes up? What's bigger than 1?
Tens.
Mm-hmm.
So this 6 to the 10th.
What number? What is 6 tens? So if you had 6 longs, how many would that be?
16.
Not 16.
6. 6.
No, that's 6 ones. I'm going to count. So you said this is 6 tens, right?
Oh, 60.
60. Good. So that'd be like saying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I'm going to do 3 times 60. So Noah, how many zeros can I take away?
1.
Mm-hmm. Put it right in my answer. And I'm left with 3 times 6 equals what? What's 6 plus 6?
12.
Plus 6 more.
$20.
No.
19.
What's that?
19.
No, start at 12 and count up 6.
$18.
Yep. Okay, so I have 3 times 60 equals 180. I'm going to put that over here. Now I'm going to add these up. Carissa, what is 3 plus 180?
$183.
Okay, so our partial product gave us 183. Our place value chart gave us 183. So we should be confident that 3 times 61 is 183. Okay, you guys want to try this? I think that's our last one. Want to try this last one in a group? Okay, I'm going to put you guys into some groups, give you about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. Got it? Make them small. All right. Go ahead. Go to your groups, guys. Carter, what are you doing? Corday, what are you doing? Carter, why aren't you going to your group, honey?
I what? I did.
Well, why click join?
There is no more join. Oh, there it is.
Go ahead and click it. How you guys doing in here?
Good.
Still working?
Yeah.
Okay, remember you guys are supposed to be working together. That's why you're in a group. So you should be telling each other what you're doing. So what step are you on?
I'm putting in the ones for the chart.
Okay, still working on the chart. Okay, so maybe one of you tell what goes in the chart and then another person do the partial products.
So you put 8
There you go,
circles in the
Cooper.
tens place, and then you put 4 circles in the ones place, and then you add them.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Have any what part are you on? Did you put the numbers in the chart already? The discs?
Yeah.
Okay, now what are you doing? What did you get for your total when you put them in the chart?
We're adding 16 plus 320.
Did you do the partial products already?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you get when you in your chart for your answer? So like when you put your discs in the chart, just like we did in the first two, what did you get for your answer?
336.
Okay, so now let's see if your partial product matches. You have do you think about 2 more minutes and you'll be good to share? All right.
Eight. 84 times 4 is 60. 30, 300.
Exactly.
You had your special teacher again teach.
Yeah, thank you.
You know.
I still didn't.
Eli, you should have been driving our sleigh maybe the day that we were delivering.
I could have done that. I'd have helped get to the destinations.
I didn't think I was going to make it to Christmas when Mrs. Thomas was driving.
Look out, Loretta.
Okay, who would like to tell me what you and your group did first? Don't all jump at once. All right, Tegan, tell me what to do.
One thing first, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So we saw that the problem was 4 times 84, and we drew 4 ones 4 times in the ones place.
Okay, but before you do that, I think you should put the whole number first. So 4 ones, and what else makes the number 84?
8.
8 what?
8 tens.
Okay. So that's 84. Now let's duplicate it. So how many times will we draw the number 84?
I keep hearing dog. I can't.
Yeah. Is that your house?
No, I don't have a dog here.
All right. Whoever's working from the Humane Society today, make sure you mute yourselves. I'm getting nervous. I feel like I'm back at Chase's house. My armpits are already sweating.
You draw 4 ones 4 times.
Okay.
And you draw 8 tens 4 times.
And boys and girls, just like before, remember, we're not going to be drawing discs this whole time. This is just the introduction to show you what you're actually doing when you're multiplying. So I know it might seem redundant, but it's just right now so that your brain gets a visual of what you're doing once we stop using the discs. Okay, thank you, Tegan. Who would like to pick up where Tegan left off? What did you do next? Ilea?
What you do is you
Noah,
then-
pull your screen down so I can see you. Stop moving it. Pull your screen down.
then you bundle in the ones, and you take 10, and then you take that into the tens. Then you bundle 10, 3.
Hold on, before you, can I make any more bundles in my ones?
No,
So how many ones am I left with?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna put my 6 here. Oh, we got lots of tens. So now I'm counting how many to make a bundle?
You need 10 to make a bundle. Then you make 2 more.
Okay, so there's one bundle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, let's see what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I make a third bundle?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I make a fourth bundle?
No.
Okay, so now I need to move 1 bundle over, 2 bundles over, and 3 bundles over. So how many tens am I left with right here, Ilea?
3.
How many hundreds do I have?
3.
So in our place value chart, Ilea, what do we get as our answer?
336.
Very good. Nice job. Okay, who would like to help me with the partial products? Maria, are you here today? All right. You're going to help me out. So I'm going to write 84 times 4 over here. What's this called that we should draw? First thing first. The what? Rhymes with Merkschmar. Starts with a W. Something none of you guys really like to do.
Works.
Work. What? Work. Draw your work bar.
Bar.
Tell everyone, say draw your work bar.
Draw your work bar.
Okay, so now Maria, what do I multiply first?
4 times 4.
Equals?
4 times 4 equals 16.
Okay, now I'm gonna write that over here in my problem. Now, what do I multiply next?
4 times 8. 80.
Very good. Now that's a very common mistake, which will give you the wrong answer. What is 4 times 80, Maria?
You cross off the 0, put the 0 down. 4 times 8 equals 32.
Yep. So 4 times 80 equals 320. I write that down. What's my last step?
You add them. You add 16 plus 320.
6 plus 0?
6.
2 plus 1?
3.
3 plus nothing?
3.
So Maria, our partial product answer was what?
336.
Our place value chart answer was?
336.
Very good. So you should be confident that your final answer is 336. Nice job. Okay, so Cooper, what did you learn how to do today?
Learned how to use the work thing.
Okay, well that's not a very good description. So let's talk about what skill did we practice today? What operation?
Multiplication.
We learned to multiply what types of numbers? How many digits is 84?
Tens.
How many digits is it?
Oh, 2.
So we learned to multiply 2-digit by 1-digit numbers using 2 different strategies. Carson, what's one strategy that we learned to use today?
We learned to use.
Look at your paper, they're right there. 2 different things that you did to solve every single one of these.
We split them up into groups 3 times 1 for 61 times 3.
Yeah, but that's not a strategy. Don't be specific. We learned 2
It's
different
called a partial product.
Okay, we use partial products. That was off to the right. And then what did we do on the left? What did we use to multiply? Cooper, you remember? Is that your hand up?
We used a chart.
A place value chart. So
Yeah.
today you learned how to multiply 2-digit by 1-digit numbers using a place value chart and partial products. Okay. Do you have any questions about that or any of those things? If you do, go ahead and unmute yourself because now that I shared my screen with you, I can't see everyone. Okay, so today we went over expectations. We watched part of the video because I didn't want to watch the whole thing with you because I knew I would lose your attention. But Andrew, when are you supposed to watch these videos? Before class or after class? And I'm glad you're muted because you're saying the wrong thing. Before, right here, to watch the video so you're prepared for the Zoom. We did that. We did Monday's assignment. The only thing you have left to do today, Finn, is what?
Practice.
Very good. And you can choose the method, but you do need to be practicing multiplication, 10 minutes. But if you're having trouble with your facts, you can go a little longer. It's not going to hurt you. It's just going to make you better. I also wanted to let you know there is a new science assignment up for this week. Remember, I give it to you for the whole week. It's usually very similar. This week, there's 2 videos for you to watch, a couple pages for you to read. And remember, when you're doing, it's only reading it to you if you want it to read to you. It's just like we're in school when you're reading the page and then answering the questions in your book with your pencil. You're not doing anything online. I'm still getting messages from some of your parents saying the textbook pages won't save. They're not supposed to save because you're supposed to be working in your actual journal. So you'll have that as like a science manual for yourself after school's over. You'll have everything filled out in there. Okay. Okay, do you have any questions about anything, about the lesson, about what you guys need to do, about how to make sure you are completing everything and being a good student in 2021? Okay.